get unpaused here already. There we go. We are underway. Will we see the potential invade? Neither team really has an incredible invade team, but something might end up happening if Morgana chooses to go on in. But most of these teams, as we've seen for week after week, they've played very, very passive, guarding their buffs. No one wants to throw the lead early. They figure we have strong laning combos, we are confident in our own plays. Why do we need to get super aggressive and potentially make a mistake when we can simply just farm everything on out and win? When it comes to the team fight, of course. Because that is when each of these teams are very strong, both again with great poke, and outside of the great poke, they have great team fight capability if it comes down to it. So here we see everybody kind of spreading on out, and of course, the rework to the trinket or 2 patches ago now this would have been, makes invades a lot less likely. The fact that they can rush on in, drop down the trinket ward, and protect themselves before an invade is going to be coming down. And already, you can see that MitosisBurnt did that by putting the ward in the river bush, making sure that if somebody is to invade, all you gotta do then is guard bottom try. So everyone, dropping the trinkets early, making sure that no one's doing any invades. Top chilling up top, mids dancing around in the mid lane, and of course bot lane guarding down bottom. Now, one of the things that junglers are choosing to do, at least in this current meta, how everything is being played, is start at that bottom buff. Regardless if they need the blue or they need the red, they are picking it up first because the AD carry and support are able to kill the buff so fast, do as much damage as possible, and give that jungler the quickest clear time by picking up his first buff, hitting level 2, and then ganking top or mid. Lee Sin will be ganking around there at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and Wukong will be a little bit faster, about 3 minutes and 15 seconds if he clears and goes directly up there. Now looking at the breakdown of all of these lanes, top lane is going to be very interesting. Jace is going to have this early, but then once Riven gets confident enough with the skills, hits level 3, has everything that she needs, she's going to be able to trade very easily with Jace due to the fact that she can go in with the shield, and Jace has to just hammer her away. Now in bottom, both of these lanes kind of pokey. Morgana and Jinx with a little bit more poke, only due to the fact that a binding can be dropped from a very far distance, and Jinx already utilizing her rockets. And as we can see, there's the binding, couple auto attacks, and Jinx chunking down Caitlyn with the range that she gets, which is very good, and that's what you gotta do. All these lanes depend on very small trades. Having someone miss a minion, they're not farming. Doing one simple auto attack so that health pot goes down. Everything in League is very small victories that you snowball into something bigger, as Orianna is not taking the harassment from Syndra, which is what Syndra wants to do early. Nori doing a great job to poke it on back, as Lil Wing's getting chunked in bottom, and Blazing as well, but he's making sure that he dishes everything back that he is receiving. And everyone just farming it on out, playing passive. These junglers now finishing up their buffs. Will be the opportune time to gank. Ping's already in top for Chihuahua. He wants to go up there and say hi to Jace. He does have that word out there though, so if he is spotted, Jace able to easily run on away. But there is the level 3 from the Riven. Goes on in with the stun. Chihuahua showing on up. There's the hammer already back, but the ignite is going to drop. Orb is getting ticked down, forced to flash on away. Bao, will he be able to get close enough? The acceleration gate is going to give Orb the increased movement speed, and Bao diving on in with the auto attack and picks up the first blood, while Spoofu misses the Sonic Wave, but the flash from Spoofu. However, the nice stun from It's Hardy. Will he be able to get on out? Spoofu's trying to land the Sonic Wave. There it goes. Will he finish? He does not, as the stun comes down from Lamenta onto Lucky, who is going to be forced to shield and walk on away. Health pot is going to be going down as It's Heartsy is going to be engaging on Spoofu in top, trying to potentially bait out the kill. Overall, though, a very nice gank from Bounce. Wow. Thinking that he was going to come through river, instead changed that whole tactic, came up through the top side, used the clone, got the gap closed, forced the flash on away, and knowing his damage, was able to pick up that first blood. Now there's the counter engage coming from bottom as I can't summon, taking a whole lot of damage. The exhaust is going to go down. Counter exhaust from Blazing. The heal comes on out, but now it's Joy of Gaming who's stuck in a sticky situation, but will he be able to pick up the kill? There it is. Joy of Gaming sniping it. The zap does not land. Lil Wings with the force on flash forward, trying to get the kill on Morgana, but now it's Joy of Gaming that is going to be pushing Lil Wings on back. The binding is not up just yet, but Jinx trying to get in range, does use the flash, one more rocket, Zap will pick up the kill, and that's a double overall being picked up from Jinx in the bot lane. Joy of Gaming, showing that he's got the positioning skills, as Lamenta tries to pick up the kill on Lucky. So much action down in bottom, and that was a very, very risky move from Lil Wings with the flash on forward, trying to get the gap closed down on I Can't Summon to pick up the kill, giving his AD carry this assist. It did not happen. As we see Bao coming on in, does have that red buff, is going to start proccing it here on Lamenta with the Cyclone, but the nice kick on back, or the Nimbus strike, with the nice kick on back there from Syndra to disengage that. She was not scared whatsoever, and that's one of the things as Syndra, you don't play fearful. You just sit back and you stay confident. You know, I have this Scatter the Weak, and well, Wukong is very weak. Scatter him, get him away. Now everybody, again, doing their best. That first back, we will see Jinx coming up with the best friend. He does have the BF sword, which is going to give him a crazy amount of damage in this bot lane to only the Vamp Scepter of Caitlyn. Now, don't get me wrong, Caitlyn has great sustain now with that Vamp Scepter, and of course the headshot that is going to proc after every 7 auto attacks, giving her roughly 30 HP back, so she's able to stay in here. But if I Can't Summon and Joy of Gaming land some nice poke and of course a great binding, they will be able to pick up kills down here, no problem. One of the things that we will see here is the tankiness of both teams. Each member has somebody on there that is going to get tanky. Leona is going to be that tanky individual here for MitosisBurnt, and you're going to see Bouchka Wow Wow getting early damage and going into tank for Team East Coast. These are going to be the frontliners here, so how they do in the lane is really going to dictate how their team fights are going to go, if they can do that hard engage, or if they have to kind of sit back and play carefully. As we see, Lamenta is going to get engaged on taking a ton of minion damage, but Scatter the Weak and the ultimate, the Ignite is going to go down, but Lucky will be able to survive here. That last tick not going to be enough. It's Morgana again doing some great poke as Lil Wings get chunked on down, but there is that pink ward. They are trying to fight on over it. Will they choose to engage? This is something that they do not want to fight on, as Jinx does a whole lot of damage, and there we see Blazing, and now Lil Wings very low, but there's the traps. Caitlyn tries to get on away, but she's going to get chomped, forced to flash on out. Lil Wings now getting poked away. That binding does not land. And this is where Caitlyn needs to go on home and ask for some assistance as Spoofu starts to rotate on down. So take a look, there's Orb bullying around It's Heartsy, and that's what Jace does. He's got the range, and It's Heartsy needs to do things just like this and engage and back on away, trying to win trades. But there we see, there's the Zenith Blade going down. I Can't Summon is going to get slowed as Spoofu is going to take the trap, takes another one, and he's trying to run on away here. It only takes one more auto attack, and Joy of Gaming picks that on up, going with the zap. Nice dodge, double dodge in total for Lil Wings, and he's going to back on away with his life. However, Joy of Gaming will now be 3-0 with 54 CS. Caitlyn coming on in, and now with the Mega Death Rocket, picks up another kill. A great snipe from Joy of Gaming, just having that gut feeling to know exactly where that Leona will be. Picks up the kill. Now it's 4-0 in this bot lane. Blazing trying to do anything that he can to clear the minions on off, still getting his farm. I Can't Summon very low on mana, so the binding will not come on out. But this bottom tower and first tower is going to drop as Team East Coast doing the damage, pushing it on bottom. 13,000 gold in total for Team East Coast. They are 5-0, and of course, 4 of those kills are on the bot lane. One thing where you need to keep an eye out is if Jinx gets fed already in that combo, and we are going to see Lamenta going on to Lucky here. But Lucky, very confident, already has the Chalice, and of course, that shield that Orianna gets, giving bonus magic resist and armor. She is not afraid. As Orb with the late hammer form, knocking back It's Heartsy. You gotta stay in that hammer form instantly. If you see the Riven come on in to you, you wanna be able to knock her away and disengage that as soon as possible so you don't take any damage. There we see Lucky trying to push out into the mid lane. Has that blue buff, so he has great mana regeneration, able to stay in there. The only thing he's got to worry about is, of course, health, as Lamenta will be picking up the blue buff. Both these mid laners with identical builds. The boot advantage over for Syndra, of course, with the 65 farm to the 57. A slight lead there. As we take a look, everybody else almost dead even on farm. Both these teams doing a great job. There's the shield. Will they be going in onto Lamenta? The red buff is going to tick, but a nice Scatter the Weak into that Dark Sphere will kick them on away. As Lamenta putting the harass down. There's Bachikawawa going on in with the Cyclone. Will they be able to do the damage? No, he is going to be forced to run away as Spoofu comes on over. But there's the Shockwave from Oriana and the stun. Bachikawawa cannot get close enough as Spoofu with the Dragon Rage will be able to pick up the kill. And Red Buff ticking on down picks up a double kill in total. Finally, MitosisBurnt on the scoreboard, picking up 2 kills. That is going to be on to Spoofu, and that's what this Lee Sin needed. He is now going to go on back if he chooses, as Orb going on in, poking down It's Heartsy, who needs to be very careful. Jace could go on in with the dive, does not have Ignite, has the teleport, but a Shockwave into the acceleration gate with his hammer form could be able to pick up the kill. As it looks like It's Heartsy is going to back on away as that top tower does fall here. Closing up that gold lead here, 14,000 gold to 15,000 gold. 1,000 gold separate these two teams, as that is mere pennies now. One dragon could turn the tides of battle for the team, at least gold-wise. Looking at the mid lanes, they are both going for identical builds. Take a look at that Chalice. They're going for that Athene's Holy Grail as the first item, which is so core on both Syndra and Oriana. As that binding is going to land a flash Soul Shackles from I Can't Summon, and he's not going to get CC down as the stun is going to go down for both members. Blazing is going to get a gauge on as we see It's Heartsy, Orb, and Bachikawawa duking it out in top. The flash from Orb, he cannot get close enough for the auto attack. The acceleration gate does put him into range, as it will be a trade 1-for-1 in the top lane. As I Can't Summon using the exhaust and the flash as well as the Soul Shackles and not able to pick up the kill. A great job from Lil Wings and Blazing to get out of that situation. Very nice job there. And top lane, one of those things that you got to be very wary of if you're going to get ganked. And It's Heartsy did a great job, saw that, hey, I have a friend coming on up, we can fight this guy. And once he did his damage, he tried to run away, tried to get out with his life. He already has the assist, as Low Wings is going to get zapped. There's a the super mega death rocket that will land, and of course pick up yet another kill, as this Jinx is 5-0 in bottom, as Spoofu wanting to go in, and I Can't Summon does land the resonating strike. The zap though, and the chompers, the ult will come out from Spoofu, is not going to be enough as the rocket picks up the kill, and now it's Joy of Gaming and Blazing there going to be getting it out, but here's Orb showing up into the bot lane with a ton of damage. Will he be able to pick up the kill? The heal is going to go on down, and now Joy of Gaming with the kite on back. However, the shutdown from the hypercharge, Orb will be able to pick up that kill as Lamenta gets engaged on, and the ignite and a ton of damage. Lamenta picks up the kill on Bachikawawa underneath the tower. A great turnaround, knowing that he has the damage. And of course, Bao, very squishy, only has the Lizard Elder. A great turnaround kill as Lamenta so very low. The flash auto attack. Lucky going on in, picking that up as Orb has the blue buff, has the red buff. All he's got to do is get in range for one auto attack. Heal is going to get used from Lucky. He's going to be forced to run on away here. Craziness all over in bot lane and in mid lane, action everywhere. As these mid laners now 1-1-2 for that Syndra, 1-1-0 for the Oriana. Gold still very even as the biggest gold difference comes down to this bot lane. If you take on a look here, 5,000 gold here, 5,600 to 4,000 gold of the Caitlyn between these two. Jinx in a massive lead, has that Bloodthirster already, and is going for that Zeal, which she is a high priority, high threat target that nobody seems to be able to deal with right now. Now Caitlyn trying to get on up, she's going for that. Still a few hundred gold on away before she can go on back and get it, but Jace, if we take a look, with that Muramana already, everything that he does from here on out is only going to boost his damage output. As everyone now, 14 East Coast, starting to go around on the dragon. They do have it warded. They're going to be clearing out wards as Lamenta tries to come on in, and Little Wings is going to catch Bachikawawa. As Blazing as well, the flash away from Bao. So that will be a flash on down. Oriana does have the ultimate though. Bachikawawa waiting for the Cyclone as Blazing gets binded. There's the zap coming on down, and Blazing taking to about half HP, and now forced the flash on away. Jace though with the rotation and the huge amounts of damage from the Shock Blast. There's the nice block from I Can't Summon. The Solar Flare is going to lock down 3 members. There is the Zenith Blade that will block up Bachikawawa, but he tries to go in with the Cyclone. Good damage, but instead, we will see that MitosisBurnt cleans up 2 kills, and now is going to be going on to the Dragon. As Riven pushes into that top tower, trying to make it worth overall, trying to get some gold for her team. But Dragon overall will fall for MitosisBurnt, closing this gap of gold ever so slightly. Zit's Heartsy taken very low, but he will take that top tower. As now Joy of Gaming is going to take so much damage from Orb. One more auto attack. There we see Orb is on a rampage now. He's the only person who has killed this Jinx all game. And Joy of Gaming needs to be very careful of this Debonair Jace. He's looking so dapper, and every time he leaves that top lane, he is spilling blood of some lane somewhere. And doing a great job of it. 4-2 currently. Now has that Brutalizer and going for that Last Whisper. So as it gets closer into this mid game, he will be able to chunk and do what his team does best, which is poke. Now Lizard Elder finally finished up there for Lee Sin. It looks like he's going to be going for those Merc Treads, or of course he could be going for that Hex Drinker. Riven finally finishing out that Ravenous Hydra, so she has incredible burst damage. Able to go on in there, drop the full combo. As Lamented is going to be engaging here onto Lucky. There's the Dark Sphere, and that last tick of Ignite will be able to pick up the kill. As Lee Sin, Spoofu, tries to get close enough for the shield to get the assist, but does not care as Bouncy Gawao is going to get found out in his own jungle. A nice clone will get him on out of there, but will he be able to escape? No, the Scatter the Weak into Dark Sphere stun will be more than enough to lock him on down as Lee Sin picks up the kill with that Dragon Rage. And Lee Sin doing a great job, 4-2-0. He's not a team player, he is a team carry. Currently picking up kills left and right, as Orb, wanting to back on away, knows that Morgana is going to be rotating on up as he has seen it from the wards. And everybody now picking up their first or second item. Caitlyn finally going on back, getting that Bloodthirster to where Jinx has the Zeal and of course the boots, and looking for even more attack speed. Could be going for that Phantom Dancer, as that would give her a huge damage spike. As we see Spoofu is going to get engaged on in mid. The nice war jump will not be enough, as once that rocket starts traveling, it's going forever. It is a homing missile of death, and it picks up yet another kill here in this game. As Morgana doing a good job trying to poke on out, keep everyone away from the carries. As Lamenta bringing some hurt. Everybody now finally grouping on up into the mid lane. Orb wants to get something happening. Riven choosing to rotate from that top now. Will they be able to catch her on out? They are waiting for everyone to be on up. Lee Sin is not there, but there's Bouncy Gawao, who is going to catch Lament out on the side as I Can't Summon goes in with the Soul Shackles. Low Wings taken very low, is going to use the Solar Flare that is only going to lock down one. As Riven coming on in, trying to do as much as she can, but she's going to get taken down as Orb walks out with a double kill from a huge Shock Blast that is got a massive AoE splash and picks up 2 out of it. As now Spoofu goes on it with a nice flash insect. Then he's gonna put Joy Gaming right out of position as Orb picks up yet another kill. Bouncy Gawao with a good separation, but we see Spoofu with the nice Sonic Wave will expose the position of Bao as a Blazing. We'll be able to put the ace right in the hole and pick up a kill. Spoofu tanking it on and will survive here, picking up 1 tower, and they're now going to begin the assault for 2. However, the pause comes on out. Such an intense fight happened in mid right there. They had a great advantage, at least Team East Coast did. It was a 4v5 right then and there. They knew that Spoofu was dead. He was sitting there in spawn coming back right then and there, but instead, I Can't Summon, went on in, just walked right into the middle, dropped the Soul Shackles, it echoes, locks down 2 members. A great opportunity to fight. Orianna then has the Shockwave to reposition everyone for Bao to use the Cyclone. But it did not happen in that fight there. Everyone kind of spread on out, everyone in different positions from back at the tower to, of course, they were down here in this river bush and fighting directly in the mid lane, a very spread out fight, which is not what Team East Coast wants. That's exactly, however, what MitosisBurnt would like. They want to keep everyone separated. They do not want to group on up because the Wombo combo from Team East Coast is absolutely insane. Now, we did get a disconnect here from one of the members. We are simply waiting on them to come on back. So I thank you very much, guys, for tuning on in. Of course, if you like what I'm doing, hit that follow button. It does help me so very much. And grab your drinks. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a slight break here. Just keep it on quiet and take a drink and rest the vocal cords, because this is absolutely insane. If this is what we have to see for potentially 5 games, I am excited. These fights are back and forth. Early game was all on Team East Coast. 5-0. Huge snowball. But MitosisBurnt and Orb really swinging it back in the favor, leaving that top lane, knowing that his lanes need help. And he did just that. He said, guys, I'm here. I am a team player, and he's been picking up kills on this Jinx. Literally the only person so far this game who has killed Jinx. And right now, it is swinging in their favor as finally the gold for MitosisBurnt, 31,000 gold to 29,000, finally swinging on over in MitosisBurnt's favor. All right, remember, each one of these teams has a 5-minute pause time in case something is to happen, technical issues, parents turn off the computer, someone gets kicked on off and they got to get a replacement, whatever ends up happening. They do have that 5 minutes to, of course, get everything all figured out. Once 5 minutes has passed, then, of course, they need to resume and begin playing. So we are simply just waiting. I do believe it is on the Riven to reconnect. Having some connection issues does, of course, cause some problems, not only for them, but everybody. As Team East Coast has been playing for the last 3 hours, they were just fighting Team West Coast before this game. Not only did they have to win 2 games, but now they have to come on and play MitosisBurnt, a fresh team who had secured their spot last week in the finals, who is ready to play. Team East Coast already in that state of mind, though. But Mitosis showing that they are always ready to play. And they're giving us a demonstration. Of course, both these teams playing phenomenally so far. And it does see that everyone's still having some connection issues. Of course, we just do need to wait. So I do thank you guys. After this game, just letting you guys know, I will give you a little show on here. We do have that $10 RP gift card that will be given on away to one of you lucky viewers. I will pop up Moobot. You will simply need to type !raffle. A minute later, we will draw a lucky winner who does get the RP. And of course, that will be given out to you at the end of the stream. All the giveaways will, as well as once we finish all these games here, we are going to be doing the giveaway of the CM Storm Cirrus headset. We have hit that 50 viewer mark, so I will give it away to one of you guys, which means all I need is your address to which I can ship it to. The only thing that I ask in return is you don't tell people my address. I thank you very much. Don't be like Bounce Kawama who tells everybody. The other thing that I do have and can potentially give on away is a CM Storm spawn. This is the mouse brought to you by CM Storm. I do have another one of these to give on away. And then last but definitely not least, the 2 RP cards. I'll be tossing that away for sure. So I thank you guys for watching. That is my little thank you for tuning on in. I hope you like the cast so far. I'm trying my best as being a solo caster, not always the easiest, but we do wait here for the teams to get all their stuff organized, connection issues, whatever else. So let's take a look at some of these item builds right now. As I had mentioned earlier, these junglers are both going to start with early damage. What do? Both rushed Lizard Elder. Then once they get that early damage, they're going to go into tank. Lee Sin going for that Sunfire cape, and it does look like Bounce Kawama could be going for a Randuin's Sunfire or Spectral Cowl of his own here. So they are starting to get into that tanky role. These mid laners, almost again identical builds. Both rust that Chalice because the mana regeneration is so essential for their characters. As It's Heartsy does come on back here, I do welcome you. But Syndra with the slight lead because she has the Needlessly Large Rod and the Magic Penetration boots. So Orianna had to get more defensive, rely more on health pots and warding to protect herself, rather than getting something more offensive like this Syndra has. Now these supports taking a look, we are going to have Mercurius Crucible being picked up for Morgana, which is going to allow her AD carry to survive even longer in these fights if something is going to happen. And there is mid tower that is going to evaporate instantaneously. So after that fight, that is 2 towers that gets picked on up here for MitosisBurnt, as it does look like they're going to head on home and get ready for the dragon that will be coming on in a moment. Now It's Heartsy trying to farm on out, as he is nowhere near the strength of this Jax, or of this Jace right now, he's so far ahead. Has, of course, let's see how many stacks he's got on this bad boy here. That Muramana, he has been charging it for a very long time. We do see 343 charges on that Tear of the Goddess. Of course, the Muramana that will be eventually finished here, which is going to give a huge damage spike, because once he starts using that hypercharge, 3% of his mana converted into damage as Lucky, taken to half HP just from one shock blast. And that's the power of this Jace. So much armor penetration that he's able to just burst through anybody. And Orianna has next to no armor. 55 armor here is mere peanuts when Jace is penetrating almost 100% of it, doing true damage to somebody. Everyone farming it on out. Mitosis trying to expand their lead, getting as much gold or farm wherever they can. And there we see the dragon pings are going down. Dragon will be respawning momentarily. And that is where the next big fight will most likely be. Now, of course, Mitosis has great vision all over on that bottom side there. They have mid completely warded and their own jungle, as well as a little bit of the top side, so they can see if Team East Coast chooses to rotate anywhere. Oh, there's a solar flare that is gonna get burned. And Morgana stuck in a very sticky situation. I can't summon, flashes right into Orb as he grand slams for the legendary status. Yet another kill he puts on into that belt, 8-2 with 3 assists. There's the pings, they're waiting for that dragon. Do they have the timer? They are waiting for it here. Seconds are precious as we see it's Heartsy pushing on into the top lane. There that dragon will spawn as Lamenta is gonna get engaged on here. Joy of Gaming doing a lot of damage with the super mega death rocket, the nice sidestep. Lamenta seeing that coming a mile away, protects himself as now it's Heartsy. Does try to go over the wall, does not, and Orb is gonna chunk its Heartsy down, be able to pick up that kill. And so much damage in an instant comes from this Jace as now Spoofu dives on into the members and he wants to back on away. We see that he did go and get that Randuin, so he has so much armor. And if you attack him, not only are you going to move a little bit slower, but your attack speed is going to be reduced. So Lee Sin, his whole job, run on in there, insect somebody like he did in the last fight, and win it for his team. This is where Team East Coast, they're going to sit underneath their turret, and this is where they want to be. Team East Coast wants to sit and wait for Mitosis to group. If they all go mid lane, immediately, Bounce can go on in with the Cyclone. They have Lucky, who's able to put the ball on the monkey and make him do some crazy things, with, of course, the Shockwave to suck everybody on in. And last but definitely not least, the Riven ultimate, Morgana ultimate, and Joy of Gaming, that super mega death rocket, able to snipe people if they want to run on away. Now, no wards on Baron directly for either team. However, MitosisBurnt with clear vision if they choose to go on in to the Baron pit. Most people choosing to walk right through the main mouth rather than looping on up and around. Something that's definitely a little more tricky. But Mitosis with a great ward is going to give them vision of that Baron pit if they choose to rotate on in. Now there's Lucky trying to back on away as he's going to get taken to half HP. If there's a time to push, that is right now. Mitosis doing great job at poking down Team East Coast here, even underneath the tower. And Jace is somebody that they need to take out instantaneously. Team East Coast needs to melt this Jace, while Mitosis needs to kill the Jinx. And a nice shockwave once again from Orb as Lamenta lays down the stun. This tower is going to get poked on down. Blazing doing a whole bunch of damage. Everybody trying to get some hits on in there. Blazing constantly right-clicking it on down. Will it fall? So very low in there. We see Blazing picks up the tower kill. Because now they do go in onto the inhibitor. Jace once again with the shockwave is there. We see Ace in the hole. Is going to get blocked from Bounce. Wow. So very close. Joy of Gaming escaping by the skin of his teeth as Little Wings. They do not want to engage onto him. Bounce does get the ball. He's not going to be able to go on forward. They're trying to get the gap closed. It's Heartsy is going to get engaged on there, but Bounce with a nice Cyclone in onto the backline. He's forced to flash on away as Blazing picks up the kill. There's the Solar Flare that is going to do so much damage, and Spoofu is going to drop Lucky as Lamenta picks up the kill here onto I Can't Summon, and now this is where MitosisBurnt can simply push in onto these double towers. They have 20 seconds for Morgana. They have 16 seconds on the monkey, and they have 20 seconds before Orianna can come and be any assistance. They can at least take down one tower here as they begin the poke. And there we see one tower is going to fall very, very fast. And it's Hearts. He is going to go on in, but he's going to get a double kill and go out even farther. But there we see Joy as well, trying to do as much as he can. Lamenta with a nice ultimate is going to pick up a kill, and the stun on back is going to stop Bounce go out in his tracks. A very, very ballsy yet effective play from It's Heartsy to force MitosisBurnt away and just single-handedly stopping that assault onto the double towers. Now, though they did lose one, they did protect the second one, thus giving Team East Coast a little bit of hope here. They do still gotta play to their strengths. They're a very massive AoE team fight team where Mitosis incredibly pokey. We've already seen this Jace and the poke that he can do sitting on back. They need to engage. They need to start something here. But everybody now with that mid inhibitor does give them the option to simply sit back and farm. Whoever is the lowest or whoever they need to get some farm, get some items, can sit there and clear out the mid lane. One of the things is once you take that mid inhibitor, you want to push other lanes or go and do another objective. Force the enemy away from middle. So Mitosis can go to a Baron, they can go to a top lane, they can go to a bottom lane, and they can push. Because they want super minions to enter into the base. Force somebody away on Team East Coast to clear those minions. There is no teleport on Team East Coast. So if they wanted to, they could have Orb split push any lane he wants. And when someone tries to stop him, they choose to fight. But Lamenta with a stun on back, the damage is going to come down as I can't summon with a great Dark Binding. And it's Heartsy picks up the kill there of Lamenta. There we see now all 5 members of Team East Coast around the Baron. They do want to group on forward, clearing out the ward. Jace not able to land. Acceleration, Shock Blast. Spoofu gets slowed. That is not the person they want to engage on, though, as I Can't Summon is taken very low there. Everyone trying to poke it on out. This is not where Team East Coast wants to be. They want to just engage onto somebody, but they're getting poked on down as another Shockwave comes on in. Now It's Heartsy starts to run away with his life. The zap on back is going to slow Caitlyn, but there's Spoofu diving into the backline, and he's trying to go out as well, jumping into Mitosis' team, but It's Heartsy is going to fall as Spoofu gets binded. There's the ace in the hole, and I Can't Summon. He's taken very low, as the zap will pick up one kill, and Joy of Gaming now on the assault, trying to pick up another, going in onto Blazing, and Joy of Gaming with now a double kill, begins to kite in onto Little Wings, but Orb with the kill! That simple Q damage is going to come on out, as now I Can't Summon with a baby toe of HP, survives off the spell vamp from Morgana's passive from that single-handedly as he's going to get chased on down. Little Wings knows that he's there. There's the Zenith Blade auto attack. Will be able to pick up the kill. That solo 1v1 support action right there. Little Wings being very, very aggressive, using the flash, but of course picking up the kill, making it ever so worth as Lamenta steals away Team East Coast's red buff. Jace clearing out the jungle as well. Everyone going to choose to go on home. 50,000 gold here on MitosisBurnt. A huge pace change for them, where Team East Coast sits at that 42,000, playing that defense, playing very cautious, playing back, making sure that any moves that they make are calculated. Because at this stage in the game, we are getting to that later of the mid-game stage. One thrown team fight, and it's over. As another pause comes on out, we do wait for a team member who did probably disconnect. Somebody having some connection issues here, not agreeing with the Riot servers. Overall, though, crazy last team fight. What did we see? What we saw was picking off of every member. What seemed to go in their favor here in the mid lane for Team East Coast actually was all in favor of MitosisBurnt. They once again did a great job of separating, running away, keeping Team East Coast split, which is what MitosisBurnt has done this entire game, and it is giving them this advantage and this slight victory here. Now looking at the items, once again these mid laners almost identical, but Syndra in the advantage. Looking at that gold, 10,000 gold to 8,000 in total. That's where that Deathfire Grasp is giving Lamenta insane kill potential. Somebody gets close enough, and Lamenta is picking up kills. Now these supports, Morgana is going, of course, for that Hourglass, so that when a team fight erupts, she's able to run in there, draw in a whole bunch of focus, pop the Hourglass, and now everyone's already committed. So they will end up getting stunned from that Soul Shackle. 80 carries, again, identical builds here. Looking like Jinx could be going for that Guardian Angel as a very next item. While Caitlyn sitting on back, still behind. You see 10,000 gold on Jinx, but it has swung now in Caitlyn's favor, who is sitting at the 11,000 in total. How the tables have turned. Jace, of course, sitting at the 12,000 to the 9,000 there on the Riven, but Jace is a very, very scary carry right now. He's got the Youmuu's Ghostblade. He has the Black Cleaver. He's got the Last Whisper. And he almost has the Muramana fully charged. If we take on a look here, he is a mere minute away before he can charge that on up and have that 3% extra damage for every hypercharge that he does, every auto attack that he dishes on out. And there we see MitosisBurnt going to be forcing out Team East Coast away from the Dragon, and Caitlyn and Leona will be soloing that on up. And picking that for their team, there's the Dragon. Baron yet to be picked up this game from either team. They've really stuck to just this pushing game, which is what Mitosis is doing such a great job of. Oh, and there we see Bao. He's going to get forced on away. A nice sidestep will stop that Sonic Wave from hitting from Lee Sin. But here's Orianna coming from the backline. The binding does go on down. Will they choose to engage? Riven finally coming from base as that middle inhibitor comes down. Now Lucky, way in the back of the enemies here, is going to be forced to flash out away. But there's Little Wings going on now. Ken Summon drops the Soul Shackles, but it's not going to land on anybody as Orb is on a killing spree, killing yet another person. But it's Heartsy as well doing a whole bunch of damage. Caitlyn picking up a kill in there, and Spoofu as well. Now it is just I Can't Summon and Joy of Gaming that will be trying to take on the whole team. The nice cripple from Spoofu as Orb is still alive, doing the damage, picks up yet another kill, and Spoofu securing the ace as GGs are going to be called out. This middle tower is going to fall as they did just take the inhibitor, which is going to leave the Nexus wide open as MitosisBurnt will be securing game number 1 in this best of 5 series.